XRP is set to flip Ethereum once again. Yes, you heard that right. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏, a well-known financial commentator, made a bold prediction on November 10th in an X post, stating that XRP is going to flip ETH again. He even attached a short clip highlighting some super bullish comments from Ripple CEO 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏. This has everyone in the community buzzing. But what does it really take for XRP to overtake Ethereum? Well, currently XRP is the 7th biggest cryptocurrency with a market cap of around $31.3 billion, while Ethereum stands strong at the second largest at $364.3 billion. For XRP to flip Ethereum, its valuation needs to surge by a whopping 1,060%, pushing its price from the kind of 55 to 60 cent range to $6.42 per token. That's an impressive jump, but let's see why some experts believe that it is possible. Now, let's hear from the top, right? 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏, the CEO of Ripple, has been vocal about his optimism for XRP's future, right? And especially under the Donald Trump-led administration. In a recent post, 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏 commented commended XRP investors for their patience through a frustrating journey over the past few years. He highlighted that it's been 6 years since the SEC started getting involved with crypto, making it a challenging environment for XRP. The ongoing SEC lawsuit against Ripple has lingered for over 4 years, causing XRP to lose its spot as the second biggest cryptocurrency and drop to 7th place. But 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏 isn't backing down. He expressed hope that the regulatory obstacles hindering XRP's growth might soon be overcome, and especially with the Donald Trump re-election. Now, Trump has promised to make America the crypto capital of the world by developing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and appointing pro-crypto regulators. This shift could mean clearer and fairer regulations, giving XRP and other cryptocurrencies a better chance to thrive. Speaking of Trump's re-election, the crypto community is buzzing with excitement. Donald Trump has made it clear that he wants to foster a more crypto-friendly environment in the US. One of his first moves is planning to fire Gary Gensler as the SEC chair and replace him with someone more supportive of crypto industry, like Mark, for example. Now, this potential change in SEC leadership is a big deal because it could lead to more accommodating regulations for cryptocurrencies. A fairer SEC or friendlier and fairer SEC might mean fewer hurdles for XRP and other digital assets, making it easier for them to grow and attract more investors. This is exactly what Ripple's CEO is hoping for to kind of boost XRP's position in the market. So how is the community reacting to all of this? On platforms like X and Reddit, the sentiment is a mix of excitement and optimism. Many XRP enthusiasts are thrilled about the possibility of XRP overtaking Ethereum again. You'll see comments like XRP to the moon, and finally XRP can shine as the second largest crypto, flooding in, reacting to the strong bullish sentiment that is out there. However, there are some skeptical voices in the community. Some members are questioning whether a 1,000% surge is realistic, pointing out that the challenges XRP still faces with the SEC lawsuit. But overall, the positive outlook from key figures like Zach and 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏 are keeping the hope alive among XRP supporters. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, XRP's journey has potentially overtaking Ethereum is filled with both challenges and exciting opportunities. With Zach's prediction and 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏's optimism, there's a lot to look kind of forward to in the future. If the regulatory landscape becomes more favorable under Trump's administration, XRP could see significant growth, making Zach's bold prediction a reality. But remember, of course, the crypto market is notoriously volatile, and such massive surges aren't guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. It's essential to stay informed, keep an eye on the regulatory developments, and watch how XRP performs in the coming months. Whether you're a long-term holder or just getting into crypto, understanding these dynamics can help you make more informed decisions. All right, let's take a look at some history. XRP has shown a pretty interesting pattern where it comes to the US presidential elections. According to market analyst 𝗕𝗘𝗀𝗀𝗧, XRP tends to form what's called a symmetrical triangle pattern before each election. This pattern has historically led to some massive price breakouts right after the elections. So let's take a look back at 2016. Following the election on November 8th, XRP's price initially dipped for about 4 months, but by March 2017, XRP exploded, soaring by an astonishing 60,000% to reach its all-time high of $3.31. Fast forward to 2020, and we saw something similar. After the November 3rd election, XRP rallied by 177% in the same month before facing a sharp correction in December due to the SEC lawsuit against Ripple. Despite that setback, XRP bounced back and ended the year with a rally exceeding 700%. These historical patterns suggest that XRP has a tendency to experience significant upswings following US elections, especially when the market sentiment is favorable. Now, let's talk about the recent 2024 presidential election that concluded on November 5th, with Donald Trump emerging victorious. With this win, his kind of reignited optimism within the crypto community, especially for XRP. Prominent analysts like BitBoy, for example, are already speculating that XRP could benefit immensely from Trump's administration. 𝗕𝗘𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, who's been closely monitoring XRP price movements, believes that the historical pattern is set to repeat with Trump's victory and his crypto-friendly stance. XRP is on the brink of another breakout. In fact, XRP has already seen 22.46% gain in November, adding fuel to the fire of these predictions. So, how realistic are these predictions? Well, let's break it down, right? If XRP follows its historical trends, it could potentially see a surge anywhere between 100 and 500%, pushing its price from its 61-cent range towards $1.22 and maybe even $3.67. And if the conditions are just right, some even believe that it could push as high as $6.42 or more. Now, here's where things really get interesting. According to 𝗕𝗘𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, there's a possibility that XRP could soar up to 700 or even 60,000% following the election. While 60,000% might sound a bit out there, it's based on XRP's historical ability to make massive gains post-election. However, it is important to keep things in perspective. While such explosive growth is theoretically possible, more conservative estimates suggest that XRP could realistically increase by 100 to 500%, which with this kind of would mean, XRP reaching new heights. Would this mean reaching new heights? But, within a more kind of achievable range based on current market conditions and historical performance is probably the better way of saying it. So at the time of kind of recording, XRP is trading around 61 cent with a market cap of $34.7 billion, and a 24-hour trading volume of around 2.8 billion. If history does repeat itself, XRP could surge by, and XRP surges, by 700%. Its price could reach around $4.89. And if we're talking about that full 60,000% surge, that would take XRP to $367.69 per token, approximately, in and around that area, which just doesn't really feel that realistic to me. Possible, yes. It's definitely not impossible to do it, but it does seem rather unlikely. It's definitely far out there kind of idea. But of course, how is the community reacting to all these predictions? On platforms like Twitter, or X I should say, and Reddit, the sentiment is a mix of excitement and cautious optimism, right? Many XRP enthusiasts are thrilled about the potential for massive gains, especially with Trump's win shaking up the regulatory landscape. You'll see lots of posts like XRP to the moon and $367 XRP is next popping up, reflecting bullish sentiment among supporters. On the flip side, of course, there are some voices of caution reminding everyone that while the potential for high returns is there, the crypto market is notoriously volatile. Comments like excited, but let's stay realistic, and $367 might be too ambitious. But I'm holding strong. Highlight a very balanced perspective within the community. Overall, the community is buzzing with discussions about XRP's future, the impact of the new administration, and the historical patterns that could guide XRP's next moves. Let's catch up on XRP's recent journey. Just a while ago, or a little while ago, XRP faced a significant drop, down 14%, right after the SEC filed an appeal notice in the Ripple lawsuit. This caused XRP's price to tumble from around the 60 cents on October 2nd to 51 cents on the next day. But don't worry, XRP has been on the mend since then, trading at around kind of 60 cents, up a pretty significant amount in the last week. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but recent upticks is giving XRP enthusiasts a little bit of hope. Now, here's where things really get exciting. Four prominent crypto entities, Grayscale Investments, Bitwise, Canary Capital, and 21 Shares, are gearing up to launch exchange-traded funds, ETFs, for XRP. This could be a game changer for the token. Let's break down what each of these players is going to do or are going to do. Grayscale recently relaunched its XRP Trust, a closed-end fund that gives institutional investors exposure to XRP. They've outlined a four-stage growth cycle aimed at transforming this trust into a spot ETF. Bitwise took a proactive step by submitting an XRP ETF application with the SEC on October 1st. Initially applying for the state of Delaware, they quickly followed up with a federal filing showing their strong commitment to bringing an XRP ETF to the market. Now, not far behind is Canary Capital, also submitted an S1 filing to the SEC on October 8th, confirming their plans to launch a spot-based ETF tied to XRP. This move adds another layer of credibility and momentum to XRP's potential ETF offerings. Last but not least, 21 Shares has also joined the race by applying to launch an ETF for XRP. Their involvement further solidifies the growing interest and support for XRP in the institutional investment space. So, why are these ETFs such a big deal for XRP? Well, if approved, they could attract a massive influx of international, but what I actually mean is institutional, if I can talk today, institutional capital, right, into the XRP ecosystem. And you've got to think about it like this, right? More investment means higher demand, and which usually drives price up quite significantly. So some market observers do believe that with these ETFs, XRP could potentially reach $10 per token. That's about 1,700% increase from its current price, around about there. Now, imagine holding 100,000 XRP today at $10 each. That portfolio would skyrocket to over $1 million. So you can see the potential. But what do the analysts say, right? Many are optimistic about XRP's future, general believers out there, and you got Grayscale relaunching the XRP Trust. Could be a catalyst that pushes XRP to that $10 mark. You got 𝗕𝗙𝗪, we'll talk more about him in a moment, suggesting that if Bitcoin hits its targets, XRP could follow suit, potentially reaching quite significant numbers. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. So there's a lot of positivity out there. On the flip side, of course, it's important to keep things balanced. While the potential is huge, a 1,700% surge is no small feat, and it comes with its own set of challenges: regulatory hurdles, market volatility, and the overall adoption rate of XRP's use cases will play significant roles in determining whether these predictions can come to fruition. Now, how is the community reacting to this? Well, on platforms like X and Reddit, there's a sentiment which is completely mixed, right? There's excitement, there's caution, and there's cautious optimism. You'll also see plenty of enthusiasts posting things like XRP to $10, let's go, rocket ships and things like that. And finally, institutional support for XRP showing up and showing kind of the bullish stance within the community. However, there are some voices reminding everyone that you've got to stay realistic. Comments like $10 is possible, but let's not ignore the risks and the great potential that's out there, right? But keep in mind that market conditions, you've got to kind of have all that in your head when you start thinking about these kind of really bullish targets. The crypto market is inherently volatile, which does mean that investors should tread carefully, in my opinion. So What's the big takeaway here, right? XRP is on an exciting path with the potential support from major crypto entities aiming to launch ETFs. If these ETFs do get the green light, it could significantly boost XRP's price, possibly taking it to that $10 level. However, it's essential to stay informed and aware of the market's ups and downs. Whether you're a long-time or long-term XRP holder or just getting started, these developments are worth keeping an eye on. The combination of institutional support and regulatory clarity and a strong community backing could make XRP a major player in the crypto space once again. A famous crypto expert, Farina, is telling investors not to wait to buy XRP, but to buy XRP and wait instead. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, right? But let me explain why he's making this bold call. Farina is or has made this assertion in response to questions from his followers on X about whether it's better to purchase XRP now or wait for a price dip. His advice: don't wait. He believes that XRP might not see any major dips. So holding off could mean missing out on significant gains. But why trust Farina's advice? Well, he's got a solid track record. Farina successfully predicted XRP's downturn in the past, especially when the asset plunged to 20 cents after the SEC filed its lawsuit against Ripple in 2020. This wasn't just a fluke. He saw it coming and adjusted his strategies accordingly. At the time of his latest analysis, XRP was priced at around 60 cents, which Farina believes considers highly undervalued. He's not alone in this sentiment either. He's also feels very similar about Stellar's XLM token, which was trading at around 11 cents when he made his remarks. So both XRP and XLM, according to Farina, has strong growth potential, especially given their relevance in the financial sector. So why does Farina see such strong potential in XRP and XLM? It's all about their use cases and adoption in the financial industry. Both cryptocurrencies are crucial players in facilitating cross-border payments and financial transactions, making them indispensable in today's digital economy. Looking back, XRP has shown incredible resilience and growth. For example, in 2018, XRP's price surged by a mind-blowing 36,000%, reaching an all-time high of $3.84. And in 2020, despite facing sharp correction due to the regulatory challenges, XRP bounced back with a 700% rally. These historical performances highlight XRP's ability to recover and thrive even in the face of adversity. Now, let's get into the exciting part, right? Farina's forecast. He's predicting an imminent price surge for XRP and is advising investors to buy at least 10,000 XRP, which costs around $5,800 or $6,000, something to that effect, which can be a very specific number. Why such a specific number? Well, Farina believes that if you invest in XRP now, you won't have any regrets 5 years down the line. He emphasizes a long-term approach, suggesting that holding XRP will help investors beat the institutions. According to him, whether you bought XRP at 55 cents, 60 cents, 65 cents, or even $1, you'll look back and you'll see the benefits of your investment. Now, it's probably worth noting that this is a very bullish outlook. It doesn't take into consideration a lot of the inner workings of the market. I personally wouldn't be looking through the lens of buy now and wait, and I would be looking more at the intricacies of how markets operate. It is all driven from supply and demand, whereas if you don't pay attention to those things, you could potentially be paying more premiums. For example, this is the same advice that you were seeing back in early 2018 at the peak when people were telling you to buy it because it was going to $500 per token, right? So this is, in my opinion, not something that I would be an advocate for. And also using the word advice is really bad as well, because that would basically kind of give you the idea that maybe there's a financial advice being given here. I am not a financial advisor. I cannot give financial advice. And my approach here would be very much paying attention to the inner workings of markets rather than buying and just waiting. But that's my take on it. 𝗕𝗓𝗓, he's one for making bold predictions about XRP and how its price could skyrocket if Bitcoin hits certain certain milestones. So recently, 𝗕𝗓𝗓 took to X to analyze the XRP to Bitcoin pairing and highlighting a crucial zone that he has dubbed the "you only live once" level, standing for obviously, 𝗕𝗢𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦. Now, in his October 21st tweet, 𝗕𝗓𝗓 pointed out that the XRP Bitcoin pair tried to close above the 0.00001 level, but couldn't quite make it due to heavy sell pressures. This failure brought the pair down to the "you only live once" level, or support level, as 𝗕𝗓𝗓 said, marked in yellow on his chart, and you can check that out if you want. Now, according to 𝗕𝗓𝗓, breaking above this territory requires what he calls an impulsive mega thrust surge. I mean, I don't know where they come up with all these kind of words and names for things. It's just mind-blowing. But as of now, XRP Bitcoin pairing is sitting at 0.00007360. So it's down by 0.4% in the last 24 hours or so, and at least at the point of recording. So to hit that 0.000010 range, it needs to have a surge of about 35.86%. But 𝗕𝗓𝗓 isn't stopping there. He's setting some ambitious price targets based on where Bitcoin could go. So let's break all this down, right, and see what he's talking about. So to understand where XRP might be heading, 𝗕𝗓𝗓 looked back at the 3 previous cycles. Cycle A, which was 2014, Cycle B, 2017, and Cycle C, 2021. In each of these cycles, XRP to Bitcoin pair saw massive spikes. In 2014, the pair surged to 0.0007. In 2017, it skyrocketed to 0.000245. And in 2021, Cycle C, the pair reached 0.00003909. Okay, so what 𝗕𝗓𝗓 is suggesting here is that the current XRP Bitcoin pair is gearing up for a similar surge, potentially reaching the range of 0.0000221. This historical context is key to understanding why he's so optimistic about XRP's future. Now, here's where it really does get kind of interesting. 𝗕𝗓𝗓 has mapped out 3 major Bitcoin price targets that and obviously what XRP's price could look like if Bitcoin hits them, right? So let's break down each of these scenarios. In fact, we're only really going to look at, we'll look at 3. Okay, so should Bitcoin reach $100,000, XRP could climb to $17,000. This represents a staggering 3,000% move, 3,000% increase, provided that the XRP Bitcoin pair holds steady at 0.0017. If it doesn't, then of course these are going to be very different. And this is obviously the difference between kind of measuring XRP to a stable coin or measuring XRP against another volatile asset. It's kind of a little bit more complicated. Personally, I think it's not really worth looking at the Bitcoin XRP pairing for trading purposes unless you want to hold more Bitcoin or more XRP and you're just trading between the 2 assets, for example. But if it's interesting, if Bitcoin reaches 100,000 and the pairing stays correlated, then we could see $17 in XRP. Looking further ahead, if Bitcoin hits $130,000, XRP could soar to $22, which would be about a 4,000% surge from the price roughly today. And if Bitcoin keeps climbing to $160,000, XRP might reach $27, marking around a 5,000% increase. Now, of course, we can talk about the wild card as well. If Bitcoin reaches 200K, XRP could hit an incredible $34. While this, of course, is a massive leap, 𝗕𝗓𝗓 emphasizes that these targets are based on Bitcoin's significant price movements and XRP's ability to leverage those gains. And these predictions are, certainly enticing, but 𝗕𝗓𝗓 also warns that there's a lot of risk involved. If the XRP Bitcoin pair falls below 0.00000667, so I think that's how many 5 zeros, XRP could plunge into bearish territory. Again, I'm not 100% aligned to that kind of thinking because it's relative to the volatility of 2 pairs, or 2 different assets, I should say, paired together, which doesn't necessarily give you these kind of correlations in, 100% certainty or anything like that. So be a little bit cautious with that. So while the potential is there, of course, it's very important to stay cautious, essentially, right? The market is incredibly volatile, and measuring two volatile assets against each other can be a little bit insightful. It does carry more inherent risks than if you were to use a more stable pairing like USDC, like USDT. That's why stablecoins are such a major part of the crypto market. They allow you to be more predictive rather than using two volatile pairs. But again, it's very insightful to see the potential correlation between how Bitcoin's price movement is going and XRP's price movement is going. And of course, if that correlation holds, then of course the price will be relative to it. So very, very interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, so let's spend some time now taking a look at my charts for XRP, where I'll be sharing my thoughts and opinions as to where I think the price action is heading. So in the last videos, or the last XRP video that we put out, we were talking, or at least I did anyway, I know that JB covered me whilst I was traveling to Dubai. We were talking about the potential here for a breakout, okay? The breakout or breakdown, in fact, it was either way. And we do, of course, see Trump win, and we saw the break to the upside into this range that we actually had scoped out for quite some time. This was being 58.07 to 64.39. Now, of course, we were looking for the lower range a few weeks ago, looking to see whether we were going to continue that break to the downside. But of course, minimum expectations were met just over here, and it looks like that is held strong at the moment. Now, we're not completely out of a bearish territory just yet, but things are looking a bit more optimistic, okay? And we can see that we've had a really strong move to the upside. Now, a move above this previous range of 56.66 is a really strong area for XRP, so we broke that bearish pattern, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and clear out some of this noise right here because we don't need it on the chart. And I'll remove that trend line for a second. Now, with this, we need to get a break above 66.49, okay? So 66.49 cents. We need to get a break above there because it will break this bearish structure that is still possibly in play, okay? So we don't want that to necessarily kind of come into fruition, not unless, of course, you're looking for better prices, better dollar cost averaging and all that kind of stuff. It is something that we need to kind of contend with. By the way, guys, we're on the XRP USDT pairing for this, and it is the one-day Binance chart. I usually start the video with that, so I apologize, I forgot to mention that. Now, the bearish pattern here is that we potentially do still fall in line with the three-wave structure. It's not ideal, so we want to get higher than 66.49 in order to break out of that. This bearish pattern would still put us in the running for a correction down to the 42.99 to 46.29. Okay, so it's not an ideal situation, but it's something that we need to kind of keep an eye on just to see whether or not we kind of fall back in line with that area. You can also see here that we still have, unfortunately, lower highs on the daily time frame. We did, of course, break up a little bit higher in this previous structure. And that was the 29th of September. And we were hoping still for that breakout towards 75 to 85 cents, but it hasn't really happened yet. And so we can't rule out the potential for this slippage to the downside before we kind of get into the bigger runs to the upside. Okay, so that's an interesting thing we need to keep an eye on. At the moment, though, we are higher than the 200-day EMA, higher than the 50-day EMA and the 50 simple moving average, the SMA. Okay, so price action is in a reasonably good, strong position from the EMA perspective. Now, if we come in here and we take a look at our histogram, this is what we were concerned about. We were concerned that we were basically getting ourselves wedged into a position for the price action to do something, and what we saw was a breakout. It could have gone either way, breakout or breakdown, specifically as we were testing out those 200 EMAs, but we broke through them with the Trump win, and of course finding support here and rallying back up. So great little breakout so far. Will it hold is going to be the question that we need to kind of keep an eye on. Now, if I come into here and I turn off the MACD histogram, bring in the stochastic RSI, this is a concern for the daily stochastic. Will be looking for a correction. Now, doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen right away, but it is looking for a bearish momentum shift. And at the moment, you can see the yellow line is lower than the white line. Okay, so the yellow line is the stochastic RSI, and the white line essentially is what we'd call the smoothing of K. It's a glorified moving average of the stochastic, right? So essentially what this means is that when your yellow line crosses lower than your white line, you've got bearish momentum building. And when your yellow line is above your white line, it is bullish momentum that is building. Okay, so momentum is shifting here a little bit, and you can see that within the price action as we come up to this trend line and we have these lower highs as we come up into that range of resistance. We can see that this is an area where we're likely to see some reversals potentially. Okay, now coming in here and bringing the relative strength index, you can see that we were overbought. So again, momentum is shifting down on the larger time frame trending perspective as well. So from a price action point of view, we're not in the strongest position at the moment for XRP. The price rally was not as strong as it needed to be, in my opinion. You can see some strong volume coming in here as well, but volume was decreasing as we were pushing up. So you saw here just over these last couple of days, from the 10th we had good volume, we pushed into a higher high day on day on the 11th, but volume was lower. So we can see that there was weakness coming into this test of the trend line and also a test of the resistance zones that we kind of have scoped out here. So for XRP, it's looking likely that we're going to see a bit of a turn in the market, a bit of a downward move. Doesn't have to happen right away. We can still see smaller time frames maybe playing out more bullishly, but on the daily time frame, we're looking here to see some potential reversals in the market for the price action of XRP. So what would be my approach to it? How would I be looking to trade it? I would be looking for a potential entry into some short positions maybe, and a retest of the 200 EMA. This is definitely an area down here of interest. Now, if we go ahead and turn on the smart money concepts, you can see as well all these red areas here. These are areas where basically you're going into a premium range, and that's going to be an indication that there's likely to be some sell pressure here. Equilibrium also happens to fall down in and around the 200 EMA, so that could be an interesting point of support. And you can see that the buying blocks are a little bit lower as well, coming down more towards the 49-cent level. So for me, I do think that we want to be thinking about shorts. I'm not saying that an entry right now is a good idea, because I do see some more volatility coming. We might be thinking about re-entering in a little bit higher, where we can kind of see these areas here. The stop loss would have to go higher than the 66.49, and we'd be looking for 1.5 risk reward ratio. So I'd be looking for something to this effect. Entry around, let's say, 62.17, stop loss at 66.76, and then take profit down there at 55.24. Now, let me explain why. I do think we're likely to push up a bit more on the smaller time frames, so that's why I think we get better entry. The stop loss has to be higher than the previous swing high because that would break our structured move to the downside, and therefore I want to be out of the trade, right? So low leverage and a decent stop loss, right? This isn't about you going full DJing, going 100x, 200x leverage, right? We don't do that. That's just absolutely insanity. What we do is like maybe 5x seems very reasonable, and if you're kind of pushing the boat a bit, maybe 10x, right? And of course, we put the stop loss in the right place. We use proper risk management, 1% of our trading account. If you get stopped out, you get stopped out, but it's not the end of the world because you're using proper risk management, okay? And it's very important that what we're doing here is we're trying to trade what we think is the most probable outcome based on all of the data in the charts. So stop loss has to be higher than 66.49, and in this case, 66.76 is where I would place it. And looking for support on the 200 EMA, okay, and that gives us a 1.51 risk reward ratio. So that would be my approach to the XRP trading here. I wouldn't really be thinking about going long just yet. I do think we are likely to see a shift in the market. Momentum's already starting to build that. We're not seeing divergences though, so I'm not too concerned about that at this point in time. But of course, we want to be mindful that we are likely to see a bit of a cooling off in the coming weeks, and that's really what this daily chart is trying to tell me here. It might not happen today, might not happen this week, but I do expect us to start cooling off in the coming weeks. That is for certain. So that would be my kind of approach when it comes to trading XRP on the one-day time frame. Are you ready for the biggest trading competition of the year? Blowfin is bringing you the chance to dive into a massive prize pool of up to $1 million. This is your chance to win big while trading your favorite cryptocurrencies, but you need to act fast and sign up using the special link in the description. Blowfin's latest trading competition offers a total prize pool of up to $1 million, and it's packed with rewards for both team and individual traders. Whether you love competing in teams or prefer to go solo, there are plenty of ways to win. The event is broken down into exciting competitions like team trading volume, team P&Ls, individual trading volume, and individual P&L percentages, so there's something for everyone. Here's what you need to do to get started. Step 1. Register for the event using the special link in the description before November 21st first 1200 hours UTC. Step 2, start trading during the competition period, which runs between November 12th and December 12th at 1200 hours UTC. Step 3, compete in team challenges or individual contests and rank for your share of that $1 million prize pool. Let's break it down quickly. 40% of the prize pool is allocated to the top teams by trading volume. 35% goes to the teams by P&L percentage, that's profit and loss percentage. 15% is set aside for the top individual traders by volume, and the remaining 10% is for individual P&L percentage winners. To join the team competitions, your team must have at least 10 members, including the captain. But don't worry, if you use the link in the description down below, you can join the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗂 team, and we already have more than 10 members, so don't worry. You can still participate in the individual competitions as well. Keep in mind that each user needs at least 10,000 USDT in trading volume to qualify for rewards. That sounds like a lot, but it's actually a lot easier to achieve 10,000 USDT in trading volume than you might believe. Worth checking it out. Now, don't miss out on this incredible chance to win a share of that $1 million. Click the link in the description below to sign up, join the competition, and start trading today. Remember, registration ends on November 21st, so don't wait too long. This trading competition is brought to you by Blowfin. It is not affiliated with 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏𝗂 or YouTube in any way, shape, or form. It is solely the responsibility of Blowfin. All terms and conditions can be found on the Blowfin website using the link in the description down below. Okay, let's go ahead and just roll this up into a weekly time frame here, just so we can see exactly what's going on the kind of bigger macro picture, right? Because we have just been stuck in a range, and I've been talking about this for a while now. Essentially, what we've got going on is we have this higher range here between 66.13 and 75 cents. And then, of course, we have the lower range down here, which is where basically your maximum kind of value is seen, right? Where you want to be going kind of full degen all in on XRP when price comes down lower than 46.16, right? And as you can kind of see, there's still the potential for us to tap into this range a little bit more. Of course, support is dancing around the EMAs here. So the 200 EMA, the white line, is working as strong support, but we have lost it in the past. But anything in this lower range, basically 33 to 46 cent, is the golden pocket of opportunity. We have been tracking the idea that maybe this is some kind of diagonal pattern or some kind of bigger breakouts, building on this time frame, right, on the weekly time frame. But of course, as we kind of zoom out, we get more and more kind of obvious as to kind of what is going on these macro time frames. We can see all of this overlapping nature of candlesticks just shows us that the market is basically just extracting liquidity. It just pumps up, drops down, pumps up, drops down. And I know a lot of the crypto community have experienced something very similar, right? Ultimately with a very frustrating market, right? It moves up and then drops all the way back down again, right? It's kind of the nature of it, which is kind of what I was talking about with some of those influencers and analysts, if you want to call them that, kind of saying, buy now and just wait and wait 5 years. I don't think that's necessarily the right way, specifically as we start thinking that we're tapping back into these higher ranges where historically we have seen a lot of sell pressure coming in, taking us back down to the lower ranges. Obviously, nothing is a guarantee, but it does kind of lead to the idea that maybe we have a bit more time here to accumulate XRP. Now, I don't think it's a massive amount of time. In fact, I probably would say we only have one more attempt at accumulating at around 46 cents, and there's no guarantee it even goes all the way down there. Okay, it might actually be that if we do have a correction, 50 cent holds hold strong, and that's that, right? So it's no guarantee of anything. But taking a look at the historical patterns here, there's quite clear to me anyway that we were having this break to the downside, which does to me look nice and complete down here. So we're not looking for a major correction. We do have a bullish pattern here, okay, coming in with the pattern just like this. As you can kind of see, this is a descending wedge pattern. Okay, the descending wedge pattern is a bullish one, and we will be looking for a breakout of this. Okay, so that's a good positive sign. Okay, so we are looking for a breakout to the upside. This is a weekly time frame though, so this could happen 4 weeks from now. It could happen 6 or 8 weeks from now. We can't time the market, but it's definitely something that is brewing here, in my opinion, anyway. And of course, our bullish targets still remain very much true, right? 559 to 1125. There's nothing really changing that kind of perspective right now on the price action for XRP in terms of where I think the 2025 bull market is going. Now, if I come back to my charts here, go to my XRP chart for the USD, this chart is very interesting, right? So we spoke a lot about the elections and what goes on with the elections and so forth. And this particular chart is very interesting to me because we've got here is you've got the yellow zones. Okay, the yellow zones are the election years, and then basically it's 1 year after, 2 years after, 3 years after, right? I went through this before. So as you can see, the election year, you have this kind of choppy market, and then you have a bit of a dump down here at the beginning of 2017 before we rallied. Okay, so that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. And then, of course, over here we have the 2020 election, right? We know kind of what was going on there. Very choppy market to start with. We moved up nicely, and then we corrected down quite sharply, ready for a very explosive bullish market, and then we corrected down. One of the things that's kind of worth noting is that you actually have a bear market low point that's not consistent in here. So out of the 3 bear markets that XRP has experienced, the 2014 bear market down over here was basically the second year after the election, right? 2014. So we had the 2012 election, 2 years after the bear market low. We had an election over in 2016, but our bear market was actually 2020, which was the election year, which is very interesting. We did actually bottom out initially, but then we just continued this downward move. In, however, 2022, that was our bear market low point. So 2 out of the election years, bear markets were 2 years after the election. Of course, we can see that the peak of a bullish market happens always 1 year after the election. Okay, so that's always the case. So on our chart here, we know that 1 year after the US election or the year of inauguration, okay, so in the case of XRP here, we can see that was 2013, 2017, 2021, and it's going to be 2025. Okay, so we know that there's a bullish market here. The bear market's a little bit inconsistent. We can argue that maybe it's going to be the election year for the next one. Maybe it's going to be, the year after the bull market, like 1 year after, 12 months after, that kind of effect. One of the very interesting to kind of see how this plays out for sure. Now, of course, 2 out of the previous bull markets for XRP finished off in Q4, and one of them was Q2. Okay, so no consistency there, unless, of course, we just have an anomaly within 2021. We could be looking at a Q4 bull market peak for XRP, or it could be a Q2 peak for XRP. Okay, so very interesting to kind of see the correlations between where history has taken us. One of the things that is insanely consistent across all markets here, or all crypto currencies, I should say, is that 1 year after the US election is a bull market peak. Historically speaking, for Bitcoin, it's been Q4. Here you can see 2 out of the 3 have been Q4, 1 has been Q2, and we should, or is it Q1? It might be Q1, actually, thinking about it. No, it should be Q4, Q2, sorry, my bad. So for the most part, yeah, you can see really good potential growth in XRP for next year. So good, there's some good kind of bullish predictions out there. I'm more grounded. I think let's aim for $5 to $11, see how things go. But XRP is definitely one to be watching out for, in my opinion. I think it's got some serious potential. It's got a lot of hype, and I think it's going to perform very, very well. Okay, but of course, these are my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I see it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, or join us in our free Discord server and we can continue the conversations down there. And guys, if you haven't done so already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and check this video out right here. It's not one that you want to miss.